Finally, we are in day 9 of the Bitcoin Nairobi Bitcoin Economies Curriculum. Welcome back. Today, topic 1, we'll be discussing on the benefits of Bitcoin circular economies. So, question, how do circular economies influence local growth? Number 1, economic benefits. BTC earned locally is spent locally, boosting small businesses and jobs. Also, everyone, including the unbanked, can participate in the economy using Bitcoin. It also encourages new businesses and solutions within the local ecosystem. Also reduces reliance on external currencies or imports. Number 2, it has some social benefits where it encourages collaboration and strengthens local networks. It also creates a value within the community where the value is circulating and it benefits everyone multiple times. Also, everyday Bitcoin use teaches people its utility and builds trust in digital currencies. There is the financial benefits of Bitcoin circular economy. The same as Bitcoin is reused. The same Bitcoin is reused for multiple transactions, maximizing impact. Individuals can earn, save, and spend in Bitcoin, building long-term value. All transactions are recorded on the blockchain, reducing fraud or mismanagement. There is also indirect and long-term benefits of a Bitcoin circular economy. Communities are less affected by inflation or currency devaluation. As more participants join, the circular economy becomes stronger and sustainable. Successful Bitcoin circular economies inspire replication elsewhere and early adoption. For example, Bitcoin Nairobi was inspired by Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador and also Bitcoin Castle in South Africa, and that's why we born Bitcoin Nairobi. So what is a fiat-free loop? So a fiat-free loop is an economic cycle where all transactions happen entirely in Bitcoin without converting to or relying on traditional currencies, which is fiat currencies. How it works? People earn in Bitcoin, people provide goods or services and get paid in BTC. They also spend in Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is used to purchase local goods or services. The Bitcoin is reinvested, where merchants and service providers invest Bitcoin locally. The loop continues and Bitcoin keeps circulating in the community, creating a self-sustaining economy. What are the benefits? This reduces dependency on unstable fiat currencies, and also it encourages practical, everyday Bitcoin adoption. It also keeps the value circulating locally, strengthening community wealth, also simplifies cross-border transactions without exchange fees. Example in Nairobi Bitcoin circular economy, a cafe receives Bitcoin from customers buying ingredients from a local supplier using BTC, who then pays staff in BTC. The value keeps moving entirely in Bitcoin. No shilling will be involved. So what is financial autonomy? Financial autonomy is the ability of individuals, businesses, and communities to manage, earn, and spend and save their wealth independently without relying on external financial systems, banks, or fiat currencies. How it works in a Bitcoin circular economy. Participants earn Bitcoin directly for their goods or services. They control their Bitcoin without needing permissions from banks or intermediaries. Spending and reinvesting occurs within the local community or anywhere Bitcoin is accepted. Decisions about savings, payments, or investments are fully self-directed. Benefits: independence from traditional bank and unstable fiat systems. Also, it empowers individuals and small businesses to control their financial destiny. It promotes transparency since Bitcoin transactions are public and verifiable. It also encourages communities to be resilient by keeping value circulating locally. For example, a freelancer received receives Bitcoin for services and chooses to pay a local vendor, saves for future projects, or invest in community initiatives, all without converting to shillings or using banks. So what are the risks and challenges? So we'll discuss what is the volatility. Volatility refers to the rapid and significant fluctuation in the price of Bitcoin over short periods. Mark that, short periods. Unlike stable fiat currencies, Bitcoin value can swing dramatically due to market sentiment, global news, regulatory changes, or adoption trend. Key point: impact on earning. Individuals and businesses earning in Bitcoin may see the value of their earnings rise or fall unpredictably. Example: a merchant paid 0.01 BTC for a product today might see its USD equivalent double or halve in a few weeks. Impact on spending. Volatility can discourage people from spending Bitcoin if they fear its value might increase. Soon, hodl effect. Conversely, it can also trigger panic selling if the price drops suddenly. So, if people feel like Bitcoin will increase in value, in the dollar value, they actually start hodling, and if they fear that the price might drop, they actually start selling. So that's now the volatility. So impact on investment and savings. So Bitcoin price can lead to high returns but also substantial losses. For secular economies, this may affect liquidity and the stability of local Bitcoin markets. So how do we mitigate this? So there is the use of stable coins. For local transaction, we keep Bitcoin for long. For local transaction, we keep while keeping Bitcoin for long-term savings. Educating the community on dollar cost averaging and responsible risk management. Also encouraging local adoption loops where Bitcoin is earned and spent within the same ecosystem, reducing exposure to fiat volatility. The summary of volatility is a core risk in Bitcoin adoption, especially in circular economies. While it presents opportunities for profit, it can create uncertainty for spending and earning and planning. Awareness and smart strategies are crucial to mitigate its effect. So, what are the other risks? There are scams and frauds. Definition. So, a scam and a fraud refer to deceptive schemes designed to steal Bitcoin or personal information from users, often exploiting the lack of regulation, technical knowledge gaps, or human trust. Key points. There are types of scams in Bitcoin. So phishing, where we have fake website, emails, or social media messaging tricking users into revealing private keys or wallet credentials. So you should never give away your private keys or click links that lead to fake websites. Okay. So there's also the pyramid schemes or Ponzi schemes, which promise high returns paid from new participants. Or if you bring someone new, you'll get a high return, or rather than real profits. Okay, there's also the fake exchanges or wallets, where people create platforms that seem real, and you are required to deposit some funds in these fake websites or wallets. So there's also some impersonation scams, where fraudsters pretend to be trusted community leaders. And all this, you can only be scammed if you're not well connected in the community. So that's why we always encourage people to be well connected. Make sure you get in all workshops. Make sure you also study Bitcoin each and every time. Have your 100 hours of studying Bitcoin per week, so that you cannot fall a victim of these scams. So impact on users and communities. Loss of Bitcoin savings or earnings, damage to trust within the local Bitcoin ecosystem, reduced participation in Bitcoin circular economies activity, or slow adoption. So how do we mitigate this? We mitigate this through education, where we teach participants to verify sources, check URLs, and avoid sharing their private keys anywhere or with anyone. Okay. There are also trusted platforms that we also recommend, like example, reputable wallets or reputable exchanges or payment processors. All these, they are available in our community workshops and the different sessions that we usually have. So make sure you go and check out the events on btcnairobi.com/events. Also, there are security practices to mitigate this type of scams. So, example, enabling two-factor authentication, also using hardware wallets, and also backing up your recovery traces. So, a summary about this: so scams and frauds are a major challenge in Bitcoin adoption. They can harm individuals financially and erode trust in circular economy. Vigilance, education, and secure practices are essential to minimize the risk. So, what are regulation concerns? So, regulation concerns refer to uncertainties or restrictions imposed by governments and financial authorities on the use, trading, or acceptance of Bitcoin. This can affect how freely people can participate in a Bitcoin circular economy. So, types of regulatory concerns. Legal status of Bitcoin. Some countries ban or restrict Bitcoin use while others allow it with specific reporting requirements. Income earned on or capital gains from Bitcoin may be taxed differently, creating uncertainty for participants. There's also anti-money laundering and know your customer rules, regulations that require identity verification on exchanges and wallets may limit privacy-focused transactions. So if you want to be private, KYC might limit you from doing that. So merchant acceptance limits. Regulations may discourage local businesses from accepting Bitcoin due to compliance fears. How does this impact on Bitcoin circular economies participants? It limits the growth of local Bitcoin market if merchants or users fear legal consequences. It also can create additional cost or paperwork for participants. Also may slow innovation or adoption of Bitcoin-based solutions. So how do we mitigate this? We do it by Bitcoin education, where we teach the community about local laws and compliance requirements. Also, we do it by advocacy, where we engage with the regulators to clarify rules and encourage Bitcoin-friendly policies. There's currently a team that is working on that, where we are trying to communicate with the government of Kenya on Bitcoin-friendly policies. So be sure to check that out if you are in the Bitcoin Nairobi circular economy. So there is decentralized solution where we promote peer-to-peer transactions and Lightning Network usage within legal frameworks. Also, there is transparent record keeping, helping businesses and participants maintain record to comply with tax and regulatory requirements. So the summary for this is: regulation concern create uncertainty and risk for Bitcoin users and Bitcoin circular economy participants. Stay informed following compliance-based practices and engaging with policymakers can help communities operate safely and sustainably. So how do we design a local Bitcoin circular economy? So what is merchant onboarding? Why merchant onboarding matters? Why merchants onboarding matters? Merchants are essential for creating a fiat-free loop where participants can earn, spend, and reinvest Bitcoin locally. More merchants accepting Bitcoin increases liquidity, trust, and community participation. It drives the real-world utility of Bitcoin in local economy. Steps to onboard merchants. Step 1. Identify target merchants. Focus on high-demand sectors, e.g. foods, retail, transport and services. Prioritize businesses already tech-savvy or open to innovation. Step 2. educate and build trust, explain benefits, usually lower fees, faster settlement, access to Bitcoin community customers. Also provide short, clear workshops or one-on-one sessions with the merchants. Okay, you can also share success stories from other Bitcoin circular economies. And step 3 is providing easy tools. Use a user-friendly Bitcoin payment solution, e.g. the Economies website or BTC Pay server, or Lightning-enabled wallets like Blink. Also, you can offer step-by-step guides to these wallets. Also, you can include options for point of sale integration if needed to these merchants. So step 4, incentivize early adoption, offer promotions, e.g. first month 0 fees or discounts for customers paying with Bitcoin. You can also do highlight marketing benefits, exposure to the Bitcoin circular economy. Step 5, continue support. Continue supporting your merchant, okay? Maintain a help desk or WhatsApp group for troubleshooting and regularly update merchants on new features. Community events and promotion. So that's it for the Bitcoin Nairobi circular economy. We'll take a class activity. It's a group. The last activity will be the assignment. First of all, you'll define financial autonomy. Number 2, how does Bitcoin circular economy influence local growth? Number 3, which of the following is not true? A risk or a scam in Bitcoin. Phishing sites. B, volatility. C, Ponzi scheme. D, self-custody. So after this course, we usually have the final project, where in the final project you'll be required to onboard 21 merchants to accept Bitcoin in your local community. That's the final project. And after the course, we usually have like graduation, where during the graduation, people will present their projects, like the merchants that you onboarded, and then we'll also have a physical graduation. During the physical graduation, we'll reward the certificates, and you're welcome to the Bitcoin standard.